Do you ever walk away from a conversation and immediately start overanalyzing everything you said? You're lying in bed, supposed to be resting. But your brain is like, why did I say that weird thing at 3:42 p.m.? Welcome to the overthinking spiral, and you're not alone. Overthinking doesn't mean you're broken. It means your brain is trying to protect you. But instead of keeping you safe, it's keeping you stuck. Let's talk about why you do it, and how to finally slow it down. Overthinking is like trying to drive with one foot on the gas and the other on the brake. It feels like you're doing something, but you're not getting anywhere. You replay things over and over, hoping you'll find peace at the end of the loop. But peace doesn't come from perfect thoughts. It comes from letting go. You think if you just find the right answer, you'll feel calm. But often clarity comes after action, not before. And that means taking the risk of being imperfect. You're not weak for overthinking. You're probably just deeply thoughtful and sensitive. That's a strength, but it needs direction. Because without boundaries, your mind can become a battlefield. You don't need to figure out your whole life tonight. You don't need to have a comeback for every imaginary scenario. You don't need to carry the emotional weight of every interaction. This moment can be enough. You can take a deep breath and decide to trust your intentions. And if your brain spirals again, that's okay. You're learning. You're growing. And you're allowed to try again. Why we overthink. Overthinking is a form of mental self-defense. It's your brain's way of preparing for danger, even if there is none. You were probably taught that mistakes come with big consequences. Maybe you learned that being too much or not enough would get you hurt, rejected, or shamed. So now, every time you try to make a decision, your brain goes into overdrive. Are you sure? What if it goes wrong? What if they think you're annoying? You want to do everything right, so you freeze, or spiral, or delay. The truth? You're not overthinking because you don't care. You're overthinking because you care too much. You want to get it right so badly, you end up doing nothing at all. You associate certainty with safety. So your mind tries to predict, plan, and perfect every move. But life doesn't work like a checklist. It's messy, uncertain, human. You might have learned that love was conditional, based on your performance. That if you disappointed someone, love or approval might be withdrawn. So now, you try to avoid every risk of that happening. But fear-based thinking creates fear-based actions. It turns your world into a mental minefield, where every choice feels like a threat instead of an opportunity. Overthinking isn't about indecision. It's about fear of pain, fear of consequences, fear of judgment, fear of regret. But you're allowed to make mistakes. You're allowed to change your mind. You're allowed to grow in public, not just in private. Your brain is trying to help, but it doesn't realize that safety isn't in control. It's in trust. And you can build that trust slowly, one moment at a time. What it looks like. Overthinking shows up in quiet, sneaky ways. You type and retype a message 5 times before sending it. You keep putting off that decision because it's not the right time. You ask 3 people for their opinion before trusting your own. You replay conversations from years ago like they just happened. It's not that you don't know what to do. It's that your brain doesn't feel safe doing it. Overthinking doesn't mean you're indecisive. It means you've been trained to question yourself. You might avoid opportunities because the what-ifs are too loud. You might stay in situations longer than you should because you fear making the wrong move. You reread old texts, analyze tone, search for hidden meaning in simple words. You hold back your ideas in meetings or conversations because you're afraid of being too much. You over-apologize. You minimize your needs. You carry other people's discomfort like it's your responsibility. You may even avoid rest because your mind sees stillness as a chance to panic. That's how deeply overthinking gets wired into your system. But awareness is the first shift. Once you name what's happening, it loses some of its grip. You're not alone in this. Most people are walking around with minds full of worry, They just don't always show it. You can start building safety by noticing, oh, this is overthinking. This isn't fact. You can ask, what would I do if I trusted myself right now? And then gently try that next small step. How to start undoing it. So how do you stop overthinking everything? Here are a few things that can help. Notice the loop. Catch yourself mid-spiral and gently say, oh hey, I'm overthinking again. Move your body. Seriously, go for a walk, stretch, dance. It brings you back into the present. Give your brain a job. Write your thoughts down. Once they're on paper, they lose power. Set a time limit. I have 10 minutes to think about this, then I'm deciding. That's it. Remind yourself, I can handle what happens. You don't need to predict every outcome. You just need to trust that you'll figure it out if it goes sideways. Shrink the decision. If it feels too big, ask, what's one small version of this I can try? Use a mantra. Try. Done is better than perfect. Or, my peace matters more. Talk it out. Sometimes just saying your thoughts out loud helps them feel less intense. Practice letting go of control. Try choosing something without double-checking every detail. Celebrate the decision, not just the result. Making a choice is progress, even if it's messy. Overthinking thrives in isolation. So the more you bring your thoughts into the light, with writing, talking, or mindfulness, the less power they have. Your brain is used to chaos, but you can teach it calm. And calm doesn't mean silence, it means inner steadiness. Each time you act with self-trust, your nervous system learns a new pattern. And that's what rewires the habit. You don't have to be confident to act, you just need to be compassionate. Let the voice in your head sound like someone who actually wants the best for you. That's where the change begins. Overthinking is a habit, not a personality trait. You don't have to live in your head all the time. You don't have to rehearse every worst-case scenario before you're allowed peace. You are allowed to rest before everything is resolved. You are allowed to trust yourself without double-checking. You are allowed to make decisions that serve you. Start with one moment, one breath, one choice to believe that you are safe, even when your brain says otherwise. You've got this, and you're not alone. You don't have to wait until you feel 100% ready. You don't need to win every mental battle to move forward. You can let yourself exist without a plan. You can trust that future. You can handle what happens. Overthinking might visit, but it doesn't have to live here anymore. Let your thoughts pass through like clouds, not storms. Give yourself permission to pause, not panic. And if today your only decision is to breathe more gently, let that be enough. You are not behind. You are not failing. You are doing something brave by learning to live differently, by choosing presence over pressure, by making peace louder than fear. And if this message helped, don't forget to subscribe. This space is made for you, for your softness, your truth, and your healing. Hit the like button, share it with someone who needs it, and leave a comment below. What's one decision you're ready to make without overthinking it? You're safe here, and you're already doing better than you think.